Alright, now we're gonna kick off with Hopper and Joyce's storyline. Let's start with Hopper, who just becomes so unlikable this season. He thinks Eleven and Mike are spending too much time together. And rather than talking to Mike like a normal human being, he acts like a disgruntled daddy with a shotgun. Another thing here is that he was almost screaming in every scene he was in.
Friend almost killed me last night, so I'd say we're still not even.
Is he
government? Is he military? Who is he? Ice dry.
Harry, they didn't have it.
Tastes the same, okay? It is sugar on ice. You tell him that. That it all tastes the goddamn same.
Also, there were huge protests made against small businesses against Starcourt Mall. This protest was happening at City Hall against Mayor Klein. Harry sees a strange-looking guy with a motorcycle helmet. Keep that in mind. Okay, him aside, let's talk about Joyce. She begins to notice her kitchen magnets are falling off. And begins to suspect something at stake here. Yep, that's right. Her motive for being in this season is that. Well, I had to get her in the plot somehow, I guess. Hopper does ask Joyce at one point on a date, but Joyce stands him up to go meet with Scott Clark, their kid science teacher. And he says some machine might be the reason. She goes to Hopper about it, and she says Hawkins' lab might have something to do with it. So Hopper and Joyce go there with very little protection. Smart move. Also in here, Joyce reveals her family's gonna move. Keep that in mind. They get spotted by a security camera and Hopper meets Russian Terminator. And for some reason, he didn't check to see if anyone else was there. Nice one, mate. But Joyce does manage to see his license plate on his motorcycle. Joyce takes Hopper back to his place, but God knows how. Hopper is tall and muscular, however Joyce is scrawny compared to him. Joyce tells Hopper about the license plate and how he didn't have a car. Then Hopper immediately suspects it was a guy that the mayor saw. And it was. Well, ain't that convenient? Then Hopper goes to the mayor and begins to threaten him and confesses that he bribed him for properties in Hawkins. Hopper wants to see records of this, and upon receiving them to go to one of the properties, which they conveniently discover a Russian base right underneath a bed. How did they connect the bed to the base? How long did that excavation take? Anyway, they go there to see two Russian scientists and question them, but they can only speak Russian. You would think upon coming to America you would know a little English. But they get caught by Russian Terminator and Hopper fights him. In the process, Joyce takes the scientist Alexei, who's just a cartoon character. The fact that he diffuses to America because he likes cartoons and slushies is one of the most amateur ways a writer can get information from this character. Oh my god. He's pathetic in all honesty. Wait, hold on. A sympathetic scientist? This sounds familiar. Ahem, Doc Owens. I mean, Doc Owens worked because he was a man and not a child, and sympathetic towards the cause because he wanted to help, not because he was forced to. I mean, he basically spilled all his... Alexei spilled all his guts because he was made to, so... Not because he really wanted to help, so, yeah. Then they all go and escape. However, in the morning, the car conveniently breaks down her Russian Terminator to see, and they're forced to walk to see Murray, who conveniently speaks Russian. They interrogate him, and they tell him about the Russian base underneath their shopping mall, and that the gate is slowly being opened. Alright, quick thing. So was Starcourt Mall altogether being used to distract from the Russian base? Because that's what I'm getting. So has Starcourt always been around? I'm gonna say it was just because it was introduced. Just because it was just introduced and we never seen our characters explore it before. Remember, the Russians said in the beginning they had 1 year to open the gates. And don't forget, deals were made with the Russian Terminator on having the base. So they must have built Starcourt around the same time as the Russian base. But look at them both, guys. This would have taken years to build, and no one noticed the excavation and wondered what the heck they were doing? What? Anyway, they sent a distress call to Doc Owens. Then they plan on calling our party, but they don't think they can because the call might be traced. You just made your call to Owens. You may as well make it to our party. But then Joyce remembers the kids will be in the fair in town, which just happens to not be that far away from the mall. They all go to the carnival, hoping they'll be there, and don't even try to be incognito. They're conspicuous. But the mayor spots them and calls on the Russians. Now we're going to cut to Murray and Alexei, who decide to go into the carnival despite the fact that the Russians are after Alexei. And Alexei gets shot, and for some reason nobody hears a gunshot or sees his dead body. Now we're back to Joyce and Hopper, and he tells her to get the car ready. Which I guess no one will check on with Joyce, not like she was always present with him and knows just as much as he does. Anyway, Hopper fights the Russians, and he takes his walkie-talkie, and it talks about something. Now this is where we start on the mall segment, where last Erica, Dustin, Steve, and Robin were hiding from the Russians and are about to get caught. Then 11 conveniently says, and how did they know they were there? Dustin said movie, why not go to the theater, mate? Also, Joyce, Hopper, and Bauman show up as well, and they do a recap on everything that just happened. And they all decide that Joyce, Bauman, and Hopper go to the base. Erica, Justin, and Robin and Steve go to Cerebro to guide them into the base, even though Dustin is the only one useful in this case. And the rest are with 11. Alright, let's start with the base. Joyce, Hopper, and Bauman go into the base completely unnoticed at first, but get caught. But Hopper kills all the soldiers questioning who they are, and no one heard those gunshots. And put on their uniforms, and they all conveniently fit in them, and they manage to evade detection from operatives who should have known who they really are. The Russian Terminator comes down to the base, and it notices a bunch of dead Russian operatives and suspects it was Hopper and Joyce. Back with them, Bauman decides to go through the vents to disarm the key. Although I don't know why Bauman doesn't just go with Hopper, because it might be easier since Hopper and Joyce are likely to be spotted with more Russian guards, and Joyce is smaller than him, so she'll fit through the vents easier. Bauman disarms the key, and then Hopper and Joyce have to enter in Planck's constant, though unfortunately Bauman gave them the wrong code. Though Dustin's girlfriend conveniently happens to know it, but Dustin has to sing a song first in order to get it, and it's insanely pointless and pathetic. They open the safe and go to the control room, and then come face to face with the Russian Terminator. How did he find them so quickly, and how did he know their location in time for the finale so fast? Plot convenience, that's why. Anyway, Hopper kills Russian Terminator, and I'll stop here to go back to our party. We go to Nancy and Jonathan, who can't get the car started until they realize their car part is missing, and it was done by Billy, waiting for them across the road. Wait, what? How did he know they were here? How long has Billy been here? Why is he waiting until now to make a move? Anyway, they go back inside and realize the car 11 destroyed might have the missing car part. I'm also going to mention 11 is starting to lose her powers, despite the fact that that's never been an issue up until now. Then the mind flare comes and attacks, and Steve and Robin spot this and decide to go and help and save the group. Then our party all hides, and Nancy and Jonathan and Lucas and Neil manage to get outside, though Billy charges at them, but Steve conveniently saves the day. And the mind flare charges at them as well. Nobody notices this. But Max, Mike, and Eleven try to escape, but are caught by Billy, and he takes Eleven to the Mind Flare. And for some reason, when meeting the Mind Flare, he doesn't immediately kill or turn her. Though thankfully she's conveniently saved by fireworks, though doing little damage. Then to bring Billy back, Eleven reminds of his memories and snaps out of it and sacrifices himself to save everyone. Which, in fairness, this was a good scene, and we finally saw Billy as a character, not hanging around like a worthless lab rat. Then Joyce closes the machine, killing Hopper and the Mind Flayer. And Doc Owens and his soldiers show up at the end. Man, just imagine if they showed up sooner. Anyway, flash forward 3 months later, and the Byers family, along with 11, moves to California. Here we also get Hopper's monologue, which was touching. Now we gotta talk about the Russia post-credits scene, basically confirming Hopper is alive. How? The explosion caused up a lot of radiation around. How could a human survive that? The guys from the beginning didn't. And why did nobody check on Hopper or Russian Terminator? Why didn't Hopper come back to our party? Anyway, it's also revealed that they had the Demogorgon. No, not the unscary cop-outs from Season 2. The real thing. Which is implying they opened the Upside Down again, like that all went well. And how did they? How did they get the Demogorgon without dying? And are there more of them? Guess we'll find out in Season 4. Alright, I'll do a little reflection to end this video. My biggest problems in this season was the story and character. Actually, you know what? They're not characters so much as plot devices because the script needs to move forward, so no one really has much development or characterization. Except for maybe Billy, but he was still a plot device. The main reason for this is adding too many characters, because the more you add them, the more storylines you have to create, and the more likely some characters are irrelevant to the narrative, like Jonathan, who was like the planner and tactical type in Season 1. Though throughout the entire season, he's just behind Nancy the whole time, he doesn't need to do anything until the plot needs him to. Which perfectly describes every other character in this season. And there are way too many characters, and I confuse some people. And while I'm not opposed to it, you should keep it at a minimum with an already big list of characters. And also, I can't do this without bringing up a story with more holes than ripped denim jeans. Do cops exist in Hawkins? Were they not alerted or see the Mel rampage, which would have attracted numerous people? Does anybody else care about the disappearances and strange behaviors surrounding people in Hawkins? Also, does nobody really go to Brynhorn Steelworks? I know it was abandoned, but one person would have at least come and seen the Mind Flayer. Here's a quick message to writers: never underestimate your story. If so, your audience will. But the icing on the cake is the relationship drama. Does anybody watch Stranger Things for this? On that note, there was a lot of implying about Hopper and Joyce being attracted to each other. Except the way it's done here is bad. Their constant bickering, especially with Joyce not showing up for Hopper on their dates. Get over it, May. You have bigger priorities. Jeez, Hopper. This even happened in the Russian base. What the hell? This is no time for that. And are we also not going to talk about the fact that Miss Wheeler was about to cheat on her husband? And that she's also attracted to teenage boys? This is weird. God. Relationship drama can be in your story, but it should not. But it should have complemented it, not dominated it. Just remember, guys, quality over content. Anyway, I'm Michelle Block, and that's a wrap.